This is Antoine with another episode of Out and Up, where we encourage young athletes to achieve their very best outside the game. And y'all know how we do. Like every show, we've been blessed to bring you awesome young guests. And we have our first guest for yet another season. And just in case y'all thought I was done, I took a little pause last season, but we're back again with awesome young athletes just telling their story. So y'all know how I do. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Hey, how you doing today? My name is Scott Walker, currently a tight end at UNC Pembroke in Pembroke, North Carolina.
Cool. Thank you for joining us today, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to get right in it. So I think a big thing, everybody watched the show over the last few seasons know we normally go from your youth in sports and go straight through. But the awesome thing is that right now in sports, the biggest thing in college football is NIL and transfer portal. And so the funny thing was you were kind of I was given a connection to you through a coach of yours at a school that you were at when I got your information. However, before calling you for the show, doing my little bit of research, I found out that you had transferred. So just tell us about where you were at when I originally got your information, and then where you're at now, and just your reason for making a decision, because many young athletes will have to endure that now and knowing what comes about to make those decisions to make a change. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Previously, I was at Fayetteville State University playing tight end as well. Had a chance to be coached up under many good coaches, great coaches. One of them being Nelson Siriano, which was my position coach. Things kind of hit off the wall, basically, and I was kind of in question about far as what I could do for the team and how I could be used, So that's when I kind of started, getting into my own head and really just falling back from the sport. Then I realized, like, later on that that's not me. Like, I had to fix it, so I was doing different things or whatever, trying to shake back, and I just couldn't ever. So I just thought the ultimate thing to do was to leave, just get out that environment. Maybe my headspace wasn't right for that. And it turned out for the better. I ended up coming to UNC Pembroke. Now I'm thought highly, really highly expected of here. It definitely feels good to get that second chance, that next chance to do something that you've been wanting to do. Like I was saying before, wasn't no bad blood or nothing. When there's nothing go terribly wrong, it was just something that I had to do for the better decision for myself and my career, honestly.
That's good. And I appreciate you giving that, because so many young athletes, especially in high school, they see it going on, and many people make decisions for different reasons. And so for you, it was just you saw it as being the best thing, saw yourself not in a good headspace. And so it was good that you were able, like you said, to get a second chance. And what I think that speaks to is giving the athletes the mindset of, even when things aren't going the best for you, like, don't quit. Like, if you have a dream to continue on in the sport, like, make those changes. And I think it's awesome that players have that option now. We watch it all the time. I hope I don't make nobody mad, but we watch coaches leave whenever they want to. So now you have players having the power and the option to say, hey, this is not the best situation for my goals and my career. And like you said, it don't even have to be a negative, but a case where you just have to make a decision to do what's best for you so that you can continue on in your career. So I know from living in Fayetteville, you are a Bronco. Let them know you're now who you represent.
Like I said before, I'm at University of North Carolina at Pembroke, the Braves.
Cool. So that is awesome. Again, he's still right up the road from me. So I look forward to catching some games. I always love when I have guests that are close. I try to catch games throughout the season. And I've had numerous guests that have been, whether in the Fayetteville area, some young ladies that's doing an awesome job. Anybody knows the twin backcourt out of New Jersey. I've been able to catch them the last couple of years at the John Wall Classic. So I definitely look forward to seeing Mr. Walker this year play. I will make a trip over there to catch you play and check you out in some games, man. So I just want to know, how did you get started in sports, period? Like, when did it start for you?
Okay, so younger, I say I was about 4 years old. I started playing basketball, and that became my first love. I started playing basketball because my weight didn't allow me to play with my age group in football, so my parents wanted me to hold off. And I was always bigger than everybody, so I was going to play something regardless. And moving forward, I was about 7. I kind of got tired of hearing the kids at school talk about them playing football, and I can't relate to them because I don't play, but I could always relate during basketball season, but they played both. So it was kind of, I want to say it was more a thing of fitting in. It was, all right, I'm just not just going to let this hold me back anymore. I'm going to find a way at a young age like that. So I started playing football at 7. Mind you, I was still playing both all the way up until I played both all the way up until my senior year in high school. So everybody that knows me and where I'm from and everything, they knew that basketball was my first love. A lot of people tell you that I was probably better at basketball than I was at football. But COVID hit at the peak of my recruiting. So I didn't get my last AAU season, which would have most likely got me some basketball offers. And then as far as football, I had a couple D1 offers, a whole bunch of D2 offers. But COVID kind of knocked me down, so I had to find a better headspace, better way to get around the things instead of just, giving up on something that I love. So I told my parents, I promised them that they weren't gonna pay for school, and the money was where football was at. So I took the football route, and now I'm here. So still
cool.
debt free. I'm still debt free in school.
That's good.
Parents ain't paid nothing. So
that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm gonna ask. I don't know if you said at the beginning. Where are you originally from? Born and raised.
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I attended Griffith Elementary School. Then I went to Wiley Middle School, and then I played at Parkland High School.
All right. So do you still get that little urge to grab the rock every now and then and ball sometimes?
Of course. Every chance I get. Actually, I went and played today with some of my teammates that go here.
Okay.
So was actually in there playing today, and I tell them I still got it. So
got you. You gotta let them know, don't sleep.
Yeah, I still got it.
Cool. So what was it that helped you in making the decision to choose Fayetteville State first?
Basically what happened, it was so crazy how it happened. Most of the top players from my city, Winston-Salem, we had all got that North Carolina Central offer. So we're all in a group chat already. Like, we all get offered within a week of each other. Like, I want to say they probably handed out 10, 11 offers to the top players. Because, my city is a top city in North Carolina, which for recruiting, besides Charlotte. So they came down there and they offered about 11 of us. But at this time, COVID is going around. So we get offered in like May of my junior year. We're out of school by then. They let us out of school in March or February. It was one of them months right there. And when they offered us, we were like, all right, we might as well just go ahead and commit there because I don't think nothing else is going to happen. I mean, of course, they had other visits and stuff coming up, but they were probably going to get canceled because of COVID. So with that being said, we got there around July, and that's when they sent out official. It was official time for juniors. It's a time period, and everybody that they offered, they got the official letter. So we was like, all right, we're official now. So what we gonna do? And when we tried to commit, they told us that we was going to have to pay for our first year, and then we'll earn our scholarship. They'll give us our scholarship the next year. And we all thought that was too sketchy because we already heard about how college goes. Like, if they tell you something, that don't mean that's how it's going to go. Anything can happen. And mind you, I told them I didn't want my parents to pay for anything. So that's what I told them. So I went into the new year. After that, I didn't get no more offers until December. And they were all becoming D2 and whatever. Then Fayetteville State came around in January and offered all of us. And we was like, since we want to play together, we might as well just go there.
Cool.
And after we went on a visit, everything seemed good. Everything was great. So we was like, yeah, this is definitely a place for us.
That's good.
So
that's good.
That's what happened.
Cool. So a lot of the young men that you were able to go from Winston-Salem to Fayetteville State with, are they still there, or did some of them also transition to other schools?
They're still there. That's one thing. I wouldn't say I have any regrets, but that's one thing that I miss, like playing with my boys that I've been playing with since we were like little, like sandbox. So
got you.
That's definitely one thing that I'm a miss. But I mean, hey, we played them first game, so it won't be too far off. We'll just be on two opposite sides. That's all.
Cool. You waiting for that game, ain't?
Yes, sir.
I know you are. So I want to ask, like, what was some of the highlights and some of the things you can think of for you to happen, whether it's AAU, whether it's in middle school, even high school, like some of the highlights of your career in youth sports. It could be football or basketball.
I want to say when I was 8. No. I was 10. I was 10. I scored my first touchdown.
Okay.
So that's one thing I'm gonna forever remember. And my first ever basketball team, I remember I made a 3-point shot, but like I played rec ball, so the goals were lower. So a 3-point basket wasn't really a 3-point basket, but I was outside that little red line. So that's one thing I'm forever. So that was my first ever basketball team. Then 7th grade, I won a national championship in AAU basketball, like over the with one team in the country.
And what team was that?
Team Invasion out of Greensboro, High Point, North Carolina.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yes, sir.
Who was some always like to ask young players when they talk about the different AAU and traveling outlets that they play with? Who are some people that you can remember playing with?
I can really remember all my teammates because like I still talk to them to this day. So TJ Ridley, he a business owner now. He kind of put the rock up when he got to college.
Cool.
Curtin, he's currently one of the top defensive backs in Division I football.
What was the name again?
Caleb Curtin.
Okay.
He's at Elon University. He's one of the top DBs in the country.
All right.
Tyreek Leach, plays running back for Allen University. Markel Lloyd, he plays receiver for Winston-Salem State University. Amari Bolden, he's currently playing at North Carolina Wesleyan basketball.
Okay.
Jared Gibble, he's currently playing football for Campbell University. Jalil DeBerry, he's at I believe he's at Pfeiffer College, Pfeiffer University, and I think it's Salisbury, North Carolina.
Okay.
And that was it. It was only 8 of us.
All right.
8 of us.
All right. So I want to ask, like, now you're at UNC Pembroke. Like, what are your goals on the field first, and then we're gonna start getting into the education portion. But what are some of your goals? What are some of your goals this upcoming season on the field?
This year I want my first college touchdown. I want to average 3 to 4 pancake blocks a game, and then on the season I want to have at least 300 yards receiving.
Cool, and it's so awesome. I think for those that know the sport, it says a lot about you. Like, you didn't come out with this. Like, you didn't come out saying, "Yo, I want to be a tight end with 800,000 yards." Which is all, it can be done depending on what the offense does. But the one thing I noticed you said first showed how unselfish you are. Because you said, I want 3 to 4 pancake blocks, which means there's not a lot of times that you get credit for those kind of intangibles. Being able to block good and set up your running backs or, give your quarterback time. And so the fact that you said that, and it wasn't all about getting, a crazy number of catches, which I'm sure you would be happy if you get the ball in your hand. But the fact that you first said, if I can get 3 or 4 pancake blocks, says a lot about you just not being a selfish player. So I think that's awesome. And so let's go on to the school portion of it. Let's go on to the school portion of it and just talk about like how have things been for you from high school into college? Like, did you struggle in any classes, or were you always able to maintain good grades? I always like the kids to be able to hear the athlete talk about not just their life on the field,
Yeah.
but any ups and downs they may have had in the classroom and what it took as far as transitioning from high school, moving on into college, and then the responsibility that comes with it as a student athlete.
From from elementary school and up, my parents always been so it's kinda, I mean, it's not kinda me, I don't think I would be able to do the things that I did if I didn't get good grades. You understand what I'm saying? So
Got you.
remember one time I was in fourth grade and I wasn't really too fond of my fourth grade teacher, but because she was strict. That's why she was a great teacher. Now that I'm
Right.
back on it, when you get older, you think back on things like, wow, this is why she was a great teacher. It was just she was strict. And all my teachers up to her was kind of letting me do whatever I wanted to and all this. She was the one who kind of steered me straight, put me on the
Gotcha.
right track. So I had made a bad grade. I think I had I want to say a C or a D. And one of my whole report card said A's and B. It said A's. I had straight A's. And then I had one, I think it was a D. It was definitely a D. I had one D. And the day report cards went home, I had basketball practice. So my dad seen it or whatever. As soon as he seen it, he was like, yeah, you're not going. So I'm like, oh, wow. Like, this ain't never really been done to me before. Like, is he for real? Or is he just playing? You know how I'm thinking when I'm young, parents just be talking. I'm going to still end up going. But, like, I really didn't go. So I was upset about that. And I straightened out in her classroom. I really need to go back and see her, honestly, and just tell her how much I appreciate how I'm thinking about it. But that's when grades for me started becoming, I got to do this. That didn't feel right. And I only missed one practice, but it was still a simple fact of like, this is what I love to do at this point. Like this, I love sports at a very young age. So he kind of took it away from me for that day, and it kind of had me feeling sick. So
got you.
The report cards went home on a Friday. That next Monday, I asked her to change my seat to the front of the classroom and all that. So after that, I pretty much got straight. So that's when everything kind of got on track. I got to middle school, made nothing but A's and B's. Got to high school. Out of my all 4 years, I made 1C. I graduated with a 3.8. Got to college. Right now, currently, I hold a 3.1. So
good.
Grades have always been up top tier with me. They have to be for anything to work.
That's good. That's good. So just tell a young athlete. You told your story. You talked about the standard that your parents set. Everybody doesn't have those positive influences in their life to kind of steer them and kind of set those boundaries. There's many young athletes, and I'm sure whether it's in Winston-Salem, here in Fayetteville, there's many young athletes that don't have positive influences in their life. And that's the reason why we kind of do this show. And so I give you the floor to say, what would you say if you're talking to a group of young athletes, the importance of making sure they take care of their education first?
First thing I would say is do what you got to do now so you don't have to worry about it later. What I mean by that is when you get to high school, it's kind of when they start cracking down on it. But your grades are basically your key to success. And I say that meaning you can't go nowhere without them. Like, you don't graduate with good grades or a high enough GPA, you're not going to get into the college you want, or you're not going to be able to do some of the things that you want to do if you could do with good grades. So, for example, I know a couple teammates, now that I'm in college, we actually went to go talk to Parkland's basketball team right before I got up here, right before I got to Pembroke, probably like the last week of December, right after Christmas. And he was one of my teammates that he got a scholarship taken because his grades were bad. So that kind of really like sent a shock to them, like this should really happen to you. Like if your grades are not good, but you're this stellar athlete, it don't matter how good you are, don't matter what you can do, don't matter how you scored that touchdown, no matter how you went to the basket. None of that matters if your grades are not good. Like the grades are essential to everything you do with school, with anything in school involved, period.
Got you. Got you. And I think it's awesome. I mean, you touched on it, but again, the thing we try to drive home on Out and Up is that when the sport is done, whether you play professionally and retire, or whether college is the last level that you play on, or whether you go on to play internationally, whether it's Canadian or even some of the other leagues that we have, like at some point it comes to an end. And so it's important that you have something to fall back on. And typically it's going to be your education. Like as a student athlete, take advantage of the fact that you're blessed to play something that you love. And like you just said, I'm sure there's many athletes who are able to go to school for free. You get the education, get it, utilize it, and have a game plan. So I asked you, what's some things you're looking at doing, whether it's on the side, because I don't know how far you plan on going with football, but whether it's on the side or when football is done for you, what are some things you have been on your mind about trying to do outside of the sport?
I'm not gonna really say on the side because this is something that I would have to do when football is over because I want to get my all into it, and I really want to get into coaching and mentoring. So,
Good.
Basically, I want to have my own amateur athletic organization with kind of a mentoring aspect inside of that too. If you understand what I'm saying. So it's not only teaching them about the sport, it's also teaching them about life essentials as well. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm actually gonna have my first camp that I do probably this April.
Okay.
Now that I have time. Last year I didn't have time to do it because I was crossing over in the Kappa Alpha Psi. But this year it's already set in motion.
Okay.
To in April of this year of 2024.
All right. And when do you have plans as far as location, where the camp is going to be held at?
It's going to be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So
cool.
It's going to be basically a big combine like little competition from ages 8 all the way up to 13.
Okay.
And then it'll just be a charge of $20. But we'll have them for the whole day, and they'll be going through multiple things. So it'll be like a class portion, do a little work or whatever, get rewarded, come outside, play a little football, get instructed, and we'll just have a wind down after that. It'll be for the whole day, though. We'll have the kids for the whole day. So
that's good.
That's what it'll be.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome. Again, I just love having guests that are not just thinking about themselves, but already Mr. Walker is looking at the things that he want to do to give back, not only for the sport, but just in his community, the things that he want to do to help the young people coming up behind him. And I think that's so awesome. So I will ask, as you went through high school, went through college, I will say, hey, what was the biggest thing that you would tell a young person to be prepared for in transitioning from high school to college as a student athlete?
I definitely have to say discipline. Just for the simple fact of when you get to college, nobody's telling you to go to class. Nobody's telling you to go to that meeting. Nobody's telling you to go to practice. Nobody's telling you to work out. So you got to have that self-discipline within yourself to be able to do those things. It's more of a want-to thing when you get to college. Nothing is mandatory in college. You can miss class. I mean, it's not okay. You can miss class. You can miss practices, miss meetings. You can miss a whole bunch of things in college because nothing is mandatory. But you have to be able to deal with those consequences that come after that. Those failing grades, those non-renewal scholarships, those, you're off the team, those you kicked out of school, academic probation. You got to deal with those things too. So in order for you to stay away from that, discipline is what's going to get you through no matter what. I'm going to be honest with you. Like in college, it doesn't matter how smart you are because it's always somebody there to help you get through what you get to. It's a simple thing of want to in college. That's all it is. It's a want to thing.
Got you. Got you. For some of the athletes, some people have this super focus. Some athletes, again, like yourself, had those parents or family members that were in your corner, kind of steering you in the right direction. But I'm sure, again, I always say, if it's not me, and I know for me it's the same thing, blessed to be in a great situation, no matter what was going on in my city, I was blessed to be in a pretty solid home. So I asked you, like, what are some things you say to the young athlete that is being distracted by what's going on in his community, at the same time trying to juggle the fact that he wants to really go to a high level in the sport that he's playing?
I can honestly say, I've had some things that went on at home too. So with me, I honestly can say that use your sport or use your fun, use that as a release. Like when I go to practice, I think about nothing but football. Like I let everything go. It's kind of like my safe haven. I'm out here and we're only talking about something that I can literally hit you and it not matter. Like
Right.
I cannot get in trouble for it whatsoever. You
Got you.
understand? Like you got that as a release. With basketball, I can go in here, I can make you look as bad as I want you to, and I not get in trouble for it. So it's like it's kind of you got to be able to translate your emotions to. I want to say that's positive, making somebody look bad, but that's a positive way of doing it. That's a legal way of doing it, rather than going out here and get yourself caught up into something because your head messed up.
Got you.
Just
Got you. Got you.
release it the right way is really what I would tell them to do. And just it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to back up. Like, nah, I can't be around that. If it's friends, if it's your parents, it's okay. It's literally okay to say, nah, this ain't for me. I gotta back up a little bit. I gotta chill out. That's okay. That's a part of maturity. I like to say it's a part of maturity, knowing when and when not to do something, knowing a time and a place for everything.
Got you. Got you. So I wanna ask you, just for the young athlete, again, in high school, maybe close to going to college, again, if they face some of these situations in the transition, what are some things that colleges have set up to help you as far as education, as well as if you're just having a hard time transitioning with it, like you said, with the responsibility of being able to have that freedom to make a decision? It's not a parent waking you up to go to classes. So, what are some outlets? What are some resources that colleges, from your experience from FSU to UNC Pembroke, what are some things that they have as far as resources to kind of help you make that transition?
Um, I had this thing called an OL. They have them in all the schools. It's called an orientation leader. And basically the whole first week that you here, when I was at Fayetteville, we had somebody coming and knock on our door every morning at 7 a.m. All the freshmen just coming to knock on our door at 7 a.m. telling us to get up, do this and do that. And that kind of set us up to where our sleep schedule now, I naturally wake up at 7 a.m. If I don't have to wake up, I naturally get up at that time just because I was woken up at that time for so long. My body just automatically just get up when that time comes. So, other thing they have is advisors to help you plan the classes, just in case you one of those kids who really can't get up to go to class. Especially like you could barely do it when you were at home. Like how could you expect yourself to do it when now you're in college? Go to your advisors and schedule later classes so that you can sleep in.
Okay.
But as far as the athletes go, it's kind of an uphill battle the whole time because coaches constantly switch staffs, coaches constantly switch schedules. So with that, that's the ultimate discipline that you have to have, being able to adapt on the fly. If I had to tell young athletes today, like I would literally tell them to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So meaning with that was being okay with change, being able to, all right, yesterday I had to wake up at 8. Now tomorrow I got to wake up at 7. Oh, turn around Friday, I got to wake up at 9. It's all about the discipline of yourself. You got to take yourself to bed at night to be able to wake up in the morning, whatever time it is, because everything is going to change from week in to week out. Like every game, you're not going to the same place. You're going to have to wake up at a different time. every practice not gonna be the same. Every practice weather not gonna be good, so you don't even know if you're gonna have practice in the morning or in the evening. So everything really with the sports side, the athlete side is really just your self-discipline.
Okay, cool. So I asked, outside of football, training, and school, what is it that Mr. Walker does in his spare time?
I ain't gonna lie, I love to go fishing. I love
Cool.
fish. I love to go
All
fishing.
right. Do you got some good spots to go fishing now at the new school?
Yes, sir. As soon as I got down here, my teammates ain't believe me until I popped the trunk and showed them that I literally keep my rods and my tackle in here. So I'm ready to go at any time. So we done definitely they definitely gonna put me on some spots. We're probably gonna end up going Sunday just for a little team bonding. But yeah, they definitely put me on with that. They didn't believe me at first, like I said, until I showed them, bro.
All right. What is it that you listen to get you ready for a game?
Let's see. Kind of me. My pregame is different. Like I listen to the same song for like 4 hours before the game because that's just the song that's got me. Like I know I'm gonna have a good game when I'm dancing, or when I'm dancing and not knowing I'm dancing. I'm just moving and just vibing out. You know what I'm saying? But one of the songs that made me do that is definitely South to West by Gunna.
Okay.
And another song that makes me do that is Godzilla by Young Mob. So
Cool.
it's them definitely two songs that I just turn on and just let it rock out all the way from team meal all the way back to the locker room.
All right. So I like to ask little questions like what would you do? Movies or reading?
I'm gonna have to go with movies, just for the simple fact my patience is very like low. Books
Okay.
take too long to get to the point.
Got you. Old school music or new school?
I'm kind of in the middle because I like more of that 2000, 2010, the old Future, the Waka Flocka, the Wiz Khalifa, those type guys.
Okay.
The Rick
All
Ross
right.
playing, yeah, that's what I like. So I wouldn't know to call that old school or new school. So
All right. If you could wear your favorite pair of sneakers, what you putting on your feet?
uh my favorite pair of sneakers, I'm gonna have to go to old Nike Yeezys. Now they're Adidas, but I'm gonna have to go with the old Nike Yeezys. The one with
Cool.
the skeletons on the back.
Cool. So I get down to my last two questions. I've asked it throughout the last few years. First, I want to ask, how important is it? You're speaking to some young people. How important is it to have positive people in your circle?
I feel like that's really key to everything, honestly, and success. Cause you're only you're only an output of what's around you. So I can't expect have high expectations of life when I'm hanging around uh a low perception of people, if you understand what I'm saying. Like
Got you.
everything about them is just off. They don't do their schoolwork. They don't really have no plans for life. Like I can't really be around somebody like that. So I have to be around somebody not completely the same minded as me or like minded as me, but pretty close to it. It could really be even far off, just as long as they have a plan for themselves in their life. Because it's not always good to be around people who think just like you, because you don't have no room to grow, because y'all all like people.
Got
So
you.
definitely have people around you who are successful, who are trying to be successful in different ways. Like most of my friends now that I call friends, one of them was my roommate at Fayetteville State. He's stopping playing football this year, even though he has more years to play. He's stopping playing football this year because he wants to be in the FBI.
Okay.
Another one of my roommates, who was also my line brother, he wants to be that facilitator, around sports. He doesn't really he still had love for the game, but he just doesn't. So that's what he is.
Okay.
One of my roommates that I had, my last roommate, he's I never thought like I would get along with him, but he's a cybersecurity major,
Wow.
IT guy. So I'm around a whole bunch of different people with good plans of life that are not just the same as me. I'm the
That's
only
good.
really the whole friend group. I'm the only one who really has that. I want to go play professionally, whether it's the NFL, whether it's overseas. I'm the only one who really has that mentality.
Got you. Got you. That's good. It's good you touched on that. Sometimes people want people around them that think just like they do so they can co-sign everything that they do. And
Right.
like you said, it's good to have a variety because people are challenging you and you're getting to see how everybody is making it to the level that they're trying to get to. And like you said, in different areas. Everybody you talked about is trying to be successful, but in different areas. And so that's good because I think it's important we don't have a bunch of yes men and yes women in our circle that just
Yeah.
co-sign everything. Because a lot of times that's what get a lot of athletes in trouble. Friends that are afraid to say, yo, sis, or yo, man, yo, what you doing ain't right. And
Yeah.
I don't want to see you mess up your career. And so
Right.
it's good to have people that will challenge you.
Right. What's crazy is my LB, over the past probably 4 or 5 months, my LB has definitely helped me mature. Like all my LBs, but this one main one because I stayed with him, but he's really helped me mature. Like I say some of the things that I used to do, I wasn't even thinking about doing now just because of him, honestly. It was kind of more so follow the leader, but it was in a good way. Like, all right, I used to go like, yo, Mouse, we're going out tonight. He said, nah. I'd be like, all right, bet I'm going to the bed then. On that type thing, it just kind of like, I just kind of started moving how he moving. It kind of grew
Right.
our bond more,
That's good.
And when we first met, he kind of really didn't trust me, but over time, like we done came like the best of buddies, the best of friends. So
That's good. That's good. That's good. Good. So we're gonna get into the last question. Who or what is it that inspires you most in life?
my parents, for sure. I mean, my dad, he played at Colgate for a year, but his football career really didn't inspire me. It was just the simple fact that his work ethic. My mom, she played everything in high school, but she went. They both crazy thing is my dad and my mom, they met at cosmetology school. Mind you, my dad is from Jersey. He was up in Sicklerville, Winslow, that area,
Okay.
Cherry Hill, and all that.
All right.
And came down here to go to cosmetology school. He opened up a barbershop, and him and my mom met at Dudley's. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but Dudley used to be a big hair company back in the day, and they both went to school together at Dudley's.
Okay.
That's how they met, but they're definitely who inspired me the most just because of how they work. Like they both have main jobs, but they also got hustles. Understand what I'm saying? Like my dad drives a school bus, but he owns a car dealership and a
Wow.
auto repair shop. My mom, she drives a school bus, but she owns a hair salon. So
Wow.
it's like that's what kind of inspires me because it's no point in time where they're not. I like money, and there's no point in time where they don't have it. So
That's good.
that's eventually get to.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And I think it's important that you have those examples in your life. Definitely, again, we didn't get into it in this episode, but I think that's one of the things that's important for young athletes, knowing how to, you know, produce other forms of income and manage their money well. And so it seems like you have some awesome examples in your life. And off a recording, I'm gonna actually shoot you a name because I had a guest that was a financial advisor, and she's from the Winston-Salem area, and I know her son used to play travel ball for CP for Chris Paul.
Huh?
For CP3, and so I think he may be a sophomore, junior right now in high school. So I've had him on the show. I've also had his mother, Miss Janae Adams. She's from that area, and she came on and just talked about debt and how to manage your finances. So I think it'll be a good plug. Maybe when you do your camp, maybe getting with her to have her come through because I know she's in your area to really talk to the athletes even about that and things. I know was good on that episode. She talked about things playing tennis, and I think she went to, and I might mess it up. Excuse me, Miss Adams, if I mess it up. I want to say she went to South Carolina State, and so she played tennis, but she talked about how she came home and like you're doing the camp, she did camps and started training young athletes on how to play tennis. So it's the ways that young athletes can know they can take their education and what they've learned in the sport and be able to produce other forms of income and still while doing something that they enjoy doing and helping and giving back. Man, Mr. Walker, I appreciate you joining us on the show. And thank you again for being with us this evening.
I appreciate it too. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. And so I just want to say, you all who have followed us over the last few years, we're not stopping. The job is not done. We got to keep producing content that our young athletes can have to build off of, to know the things that's about to come to them, whether it's moving on in high school or college, so they'll continue to focus. You all know over the years, we've had financial advisors, we've had psychologists on the show, because many people deal with traumas that they don't want to address. And then they get to the NFL or the NBA and we see them acting out because of issues that they didn't address. And so many areas that I'm just challenging athletes to really be their best outside of the game. So Mr. Walker, we thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us.
Thank y'all so much.
And y'all know how I say every game, it is good to be great in the sport that you're playing, but it's even better to be great in life. So continue to join us as we go on for another season and we continue to go out and up. We'll catch you next episode.